Hey everyone, I just wanted to go ahead and do a quick editor's note. We had a little bit of an issue with the audio in this episode. I tried my best to edit around it, but if it sounds a little weird, that's why.
We have such sights to show you.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Four Dead Losers podcast. We are the Four Dead Losers. I'm Ramito.
Adam.
Jordan.
And Amanda.
And today we're going to be talking about Good Boy. Ooh, sort of kind of spooky.
Wait, whoa. You're not Justin.
I know, when y'all were saying the names, I was waiting for Justin. That's why I paused really quick.
I'm telling you, it's like the TV show where you recast, but you never say anything about it. You just pretend like it's the same person.
Today we're talking about Good Boy, non-spoiler thoughts. Adam, what'd you think of the movie?
You know...
Oh, no. He's either doing good at baiting or...
honestly, this was actually probably the perfect encapsulation of like what I perfectly was putting for other movies where I'm like, they have a concept and maybe didn't follow through with it, but this one I thought met expectations. They did what they wanted to set out to do, and they did it very well. Like I thought, like the first thing I thought was when people were doubting me about what was that movie to kill a hunter, or what is it? What is the name of that movie with the point of view of the killer?
Violation.
Yeah, there we go.
The killing of the hunter.
I mentioned that movie.
Yeah,
too.
and I was like, I think like to me, I remember when I was griping about that movie, it was like I get and appreciate the concept, but I thought they did it very poorly. And y'all were like, oh, but it's the first of its kind. I'm like, this was the first of its kind, and that was actually really good. Like, I didn't get to see the one about the point of the view of the ghost. That kind of seemed dumb, but like, Presence. But I feel like this one like hit it out of the park. Like everything I thought was really good. There was only like maybe like one or two small nitpick things, but like, I mean, I had to, point them out because they were just the only things that I could point out. Right. But I thought it was really good, and I just think that. I wish more people that did their, kind of doing their new thing and trying new stuff like could be as successful as this all the time. Because then we'd have more great movies and not awful ones.
That's true. Rating out of 10?
I would say, man, I'd probably give it like a 9. I think it's
pretty good. Jordan, not spoiler thoughts. This was your pick. What'd you think of the movie?
One, I'm going to eat my words because on the way here I told Amanda, if Adam didn't like In a Violent Nature, like I don't think he would have liked this. But I was wrong. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I was very pleased. I was a little nervous going in, I think, because like kind of the hype that had come up around the trailer and like the expectations I had going in. But I think, personally, this year has been like super good for horror movies. There's probably like 10 or 11 that would like...
too.
Yeah, we don't talk about this. I think there's like 10 or 11 that I would consider like in the running for my favorites of the year.
Yeah.
But I think this one stands out a lot. It's up there for sure. I'm happy with it. I don't want to give out too much right now, but I'm feeling like an 8.5.
8.5 out of 10? Oh, wow. That's high, too. Amanda, non-spoiler thoughts. What'd you think of the movie?
Oh, my gosh. I cried buckets
She was
in this
crying.
movie. I really did. I cried a lot. I thought it was great. So from, the general audience POV, because I don't research this movie. I don't write the notes. I just watch it and leave. I'd probably also give it an 8 out of 10, but I think the only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 is you can tell that it was kind of like an indie film. So I can't knock it for that, they didn't have a big budget to do this, but yeah, I thought it was really great. But from my own POV, emotional wise, I hated this movie. I cried so much I couldn't do it, but yeah, it was good. It was a good movie.
Okay, cool. Non-spoiler thoughts for myself. I'm a dog person. I think all four of us really are. We love our dogs, so this movie did have some kind of harder moments to watch.
Yeah.
And it's very. I thought it was very good. So I have to say this is one of those times where I have to separate it right between subjective and objective. Objectively, this movie's like a 7.5 out of 10. Like it does, just like Adam's saying, it does exactly what it set out to do. I feel like there's just some visual things that look kind of off, and if you're expecting I can definitely see this being a movie that some people like go in to watch. You know, a bunch of stuff happened, but it really, in reality, like that's not really what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I wouldn't consider it a slow burn, but it's kind of teetering that line a little bit. Subjectively, my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, feel free to argue me in the comments. But I think this is a 10 out of 10.
That's
Nice.
Perfect movie. It was great. So we're going to go ahead and get into the spoiler section of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. It would really help us out. We really appreciate it. But until then, we hope you watch this movie. This will be your spoiler warning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam!
I'm not the only person who's given a 10 out of 10.
It is really good. Honestly, as we talk about it, my rating will probably go higher because the filmmaking was really great.
It's really good.
So right off the bat, the first thing to know is that the entire movie takes place as the quote-unquote POV of the dog. It's a really over-the-shoulder camera. We're not looking through its eye. Certain parts we are looking through its eyes.
Black and white and muffled. And all you
Should have
hear
done
is,
it.
all you hear is tree.
Or what is it from Up? Squirrel?
Yeah.
So the movie basically starts, we meet our main character, Bandit, and...
No.
Indy. Sorry.
We ruined the plot.
Okay. So the movie basically starts, we meet our main character, Indy, I think it's an Australian Shepherd, and he's sleeping on the couch, cuddled up with his owner, who will learn his name is Todd. And he starts to, I think Indy sees like something in the corner, right, of the room, and it's the shadow that starts to grow. And as we get more into the film, this is going to be coming up more and more. And his owner starts to have, I think it's a nosebleed or something.
Well, it's like
Or the-
I think
out
it's
of
from
his
his
mouth.
mouth.
yeah, he's like bleeding out, and I think it's like obviously he's a medical emergency. He's like seizing,
Yeah.
and like blood is just profusely just dripping from his nose, mouth.
This is a good tone setter.
Actually, no, it was the
Touch
nose. 'Cause I
and
think it was almost like faucet dripping. It was like
stuff. Yeah. He was unresponsive, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
completely.
And one thing to note that, that I noticed here, and it's going to be present the entire movie as well, is that the owner's face, his name is Todd again, it's always out of view. Like there are times where we get to see like a little bit of a glimpse, but I think that's more of a lighting thing than intentional, like intentionally meant to be out of view.
And I feel like we only ever see it
At the very
end. It's
and even
sneaks in
then,
a little bit.
and even
but-
then, but like the point you made, it's out of focus. Like it's not the center point. Like the focus is still always either on something in the background or Indy or like something in the foreground. But his face is usually still secondary. Like that was a very particular choice that they never actually went away from, which was kind of nice. They were very consistent.
So then Todd's phone keeps going off, and it's from somebody named Vera. She ends up coming into the apartment, and we realize later on that this is his sister, so she takes him to the hospital. And then, that kind of stuff happens.
Then we get like it looks
dump,
like a little bit of a lore, not even lore dump. It's like what's happening at that time. Like I couldn't tell if it was like a flashback or like what, but it was basically what was happening during the days. Like he went to the hospital, he got checked out of the hospital, all that stuff. There's
Also a shot too during this little montage where we get Indy and he's barking at nothing, which is like
Well, it was also like I think it's like almost like home movie style, right? It's like a video
This
camera. So
part
that's why I
is,
thought it
yeah.
was like I thought it was something that was from the past, but it's actually happening. It was what was happening between that point and him getting out of the hospital and everything. So,
and then we basically cut and we're in a car and it's raining outside. It's storming really hard. We can see Indy. He's just kind of hanging out in the passenger seat, and Todd is trying to unlock a gate. He gets a call from Vera. Turns out that this is Grandpa's house, and that it's haunted. Ooh, spooky. And then while this conversation is going on, Indy looks in the back window, right? And this is the first, I guess, second technically glimpse of the shadow figure that we're gonna be seeing. He does the whole head tilt thing that dogs usually do.
And then disappears with the wipe, right?
yeah, it does visit the white.
I thought that was really good too, for it being like a lower budget movie to
Yeah.
I think too, like it was very interesting how they did it. It's like I thought it was a good balance too of like showing the figure, but not fully. And even when they showed it later on down the road, like it was a good amount, but it still like left you wanting to see more of it, which was really cool because there's that balance of like, oh, you see something too soon, then now the movie's ruined because you've already seen it. Kind of like what was the chupacabra one? I don't know, the shadow one. The Boogeyman, there we go, where they like showed it like 3/4 through the movie, and then like the rest of the movie was like, okay, I already saw it. It's not that scary anymore.
Or The Strangers Chapter 2, when we get the first reveal in the 10 seconds.
No.
Anyways,
That movie was bad. Sorry.
so they get the gate open and they drive up to the house. This is another shot where we get of Todd. He has like a lantern, right, or something, and his whole torso is illuminated, but not his face. And he's trying to get Indy out of the car, and Indy doesn't want to.
It's raining.
Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah, it's raining, and he eventually gets him out of the car, but you can tell he's kind of like hesitant to get out of the car.
They arrive at the front door, and I don't know if y'all heard it, but it sounded to me like there was some kind of howling noise that Indy's like.
Yeah,
you heard like
barking in the
wolves.
distance or something.
Yeah, like wolves. I mean, they're in a forest in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we find out later that I think it's fox season or something like that, but I don't think foxes make that noise. But I don't know. I'm not a zoologist. They Todd unlocks the door and they walk in, and then we have the whole like kind of getting introduced to the area.
Well, so when he walked into the house, there was a shadow figure in the corner of the
You're right.
Yes.
So I pointed that out
It
to you because you
is.
didn't see
Yeah, it was like in the grassy area, right? Like
It was inside of the house.
When they arrive
So like
to the
where
house
the
and the
staircase,
headlights
the
are.
staircase. This is where the staircase.
because there was also, I thought at
It
one
was, like,
point
right
it was
there on the
outside
side.
in the forest too. I think.
Oh
What is it?
yeah, but I don't know if that was in the beginning, but yes,
Yeah.
it does show up in the forest also.
I think this is the first time we really get, like when they enter the house, I think this is the first time we get like the camera moving with the dog, at least at that speed. Like you kind of get a feel for what
Yes.
Yeah.
I also thought too. Did nobody notice he never closed the door? I'm like, this man just literally left his door open. I'm like, why is that a thing? Why is that a trope of like, oh, I just entered this place.
Where they
I'm gonna
live
leave
in
the
the
door
middle of
open.
nowhere?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the door wide open. There's flies. There's still things that will get in the house.
the. Also, how big is this land? Like,
Decent size.
he's driving for a while, man.
Yeah. So then, let's see. We do focus. So Indy's exploring the house a little bit. He approaches another, just staring at nothing. And there's like a taxidermy fox behind him, which is like, I thought was kind of significant for stuff that comes up later on. Because he got that dog in him.
Oh my god. Get him off. You know what? It's done.
Get the show. Unplug it. Cut it right there.
Todd basically walks around in the basement, right? Like this is the first time where he goes.
He's
into
trying to get the
basement.
power up. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a what do they call it? A breaker box.
Yes.
Down there.
He ends up like almost electrocuting himself. You see the flashes like. Jeez.
And then he gets a phone call from Vera. While Indy is exploring the house, we hear this phone call like as if we're him. And one of the things that I thought in this conversation that was important is that Vera calls the house the cursed family home. We find out later on that right here, I don't remember, but that their grandpa died in the house.
Well, I think it was like they've been there for generations, right? That's like a generational house.
I think so, yeah. And then just some more things in this conversation that are important to point out is that Vera tells Todd that he's rotting from the inside out. So for me, this is like a form of cancer that he has.
And she even said, like, if you relapse, you need to come back. Like, you need to promise me you're going to come back. Because she was upset that, I guess he was just unannounced. He's just like, you know what, I'm leaving wherever I was staying and I'm going.
I don't even think he told her.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because
I don't think so.
originally she was like, "Are you at Grandpa?"
He's trying to get the gate open.
Yeah, because he asked about the gate. And that's the thing, like, that he just did it unannounced. He just kind of like, it's a whim, whatever. I guess we can dive more into it later, but I did want to point out, this was another one where, again, I didn't read too many interviews. I just read the one after we watched the movie, which we can talk about at the end, because we had the same idea.
Sure,
same idea about that thought. But I feel like you could also take this movie in a way after that conversation and getting through the movie that, like, the shadow itself is almost like also metaphorical in a sense of like death and the cancer and what we assume it was. And that's what I felt. Towards as the movie progressed, I could see that, but then I'm also like, but I feel like these things are still like low key happening. So I was like, I just conflicted. I wish I would have known one way or another, but I guess it was kind of cool that they incorporated that and it made sense without like completely beating your head over it of like, oh, look at this cool thing I'm doing and decision. It like just played out itself really well. Like I think it was subtle enough, but then once you intake everything, it was really nice.
Yeah. So while Indy's exploring, he's like starts to hear creaks in the floorboards above him and stuff like that. Almost like if there's someone inside of the house. Wow, scary.
What's so cool to know is like, yes, these things are happening, but like chances are, okay, this is probably really stupid to say, but it just clicked for me right now. Dogs have such good ears, so he's probably the only one hearing the creaking, which is why it always looks like hearing nothing. Yeah. And so I just think that's cute, because everything then makes more sense because it's from the dog's perspective. Well, obviously it has heightened senses.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Indy ends up in one of the closets and there's creaks in there, and then he looks into the corner of the closet and it gets like super dark. And you can see the shadow starting to grow in the corner, and then that's when Todd comes up and he shines the light, and then the shadow goes away. Scary. You want to say something?
I'm just trying to remember. There's this part in here, and there's another like cool little nod at things that I thought was interesting. I just can't remember. It happens here pretty soon. I'm pretty sure this scene. Is this the next scene where he's in the living room watching TV, or somehow there's always static at the end of it, like as if we're not in the 21st century. That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. I don't remember, because there's a few times where that happens.
Yeah, there was something I wanted to point out, but I'm pretty sure it was near the beginning.
I think this is the first part.
Is he ever just watching TV? I feel like every time we see the TV, it's like a tape of his grandpa.
Well, I think
that's later.
That's what he says, is that when he's on the first phone call with Vera, is that they don't have cable or anything, so all he has to watch are old horror movies and old home videos.
Yeah. Yes, but
I think here it flips, and because Indy's then cuddling with his legs, isn't he?
Yes, and then they're watching a movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I forget the first movie, but did you notice that every movie was a setup to something that was happening or about to happen? Like the first one, I forget what it was. Like every sci-fi movie, like, oh, it was there's a shadow in the caves or a shadow in lurking. It's like that's the name of the movie or something, and that's like the theme of it. First seeing it in that house, something that's watching us. I need to look it up, but I thought that was really cool. Like every time he's on the TV and watching a movie, it has something to do with what's about to happen or something that is happening, which is really, I thought that was a really cool nod and kind of one of those that boops you on the nose a little bit, but it's still subtle enough that's like, oh, okay. That's
right. Subtle foreshadowing. Also, real quick, I did want to add, just because it popped in my mind right now, something that you were talking about. It is interesting, the idea that like this figure we're seeing is like metaphorical, because also up until the end, like I'm pretty sure the dog's the only one that sees or experiences any of the haunting. Like I don't think the human ever, so it could like it.
I think he does at one point. He does the hello.
Towards the end when it starts to ramp up.
When you could say death is at the door
exactly,
already. Like,
because then he's starting to experience it. That's what I thought.
So
almost to me, it was like this movie is from Indy's POV, who it essentially is seeing what like a service dog would, right? Because the shadow's getting bigger as soon as he starts bleeding in the apartment. So it's like it's what signals him to, hey, something's not right here.
That's not something I really had reflected on, like the fact that this whole time Todd never really experiences any of this. It's always the dog.
So then we go to the next day and they're walking in the woods. They approach a graveyard and Indy doesn't want to go towards the tombstones and all of that. But, you know, good dogs following their owners. He goes ahead and follows anyways. Todd tells him that all of his family is buried there and they all died pretty young.
Yeah, that's another... Okay, this adds into what we were talking about, because it's like, okay, it could be metaphorical, but also it does seem like the house makes him a little crazy. Like,
yes.
And for that many people to have died there...
I think he's relapsing, and that's what we're seeing.
Right, it's all like...
Because he's just getting weaker.
Right.
So then Todd goes off to like explore a little bit off camera. There's like a log and the dog sits next to it. And Todd basically tells him to stay right there. Like, you know, he gives him the command to stay and then he walks off. And then we get like a straight head shot of Indy, and in the background you can hardly see, or at first you can hardly see it. It's the shadow figure, and then it starts to walk, and then as it walks up towards Indy, there's like a change, right? And this is where we meet the hunter, or his neighbor.
Is this when we also get like the log shot of the eyes in the log?
Yes, there's a couple of eye shots.
It's when Todd comes back and he's talking to the neighbor, that's when Indy starts looking into the
This
log.
was... I don't want
It's
to
like the fox. I'm pretty sure it's the fox.
Yeah, I don't want to say it caught me by surprise, but this was the thing where, like, because it starts as a figure, I'm thinking, like... Because I'm pretty sure it cuts back and forth. I was so sure it was going to either be, like, a pop-up or a... So I just remember feeling so, like, shocked when the guy's just standing there. Because I feel... Like, it's almost unsettling because you don't know who this guy is.
The ghillie suit.
Yeah, he's just, like, standing. Thought, bro, the dog's going to get axed this early in.
Your cousin had laser tag. That's what he wears. The barrel rolls.
So the neighbor shows up. He starts talking to Todd. The dog looks in the log, and we get like little glimpses of the conversation, right? And then the neighbor says that he has fox traps all over the place, so for him to watch out. And then this is where we see like the two white beady eyes in the shadows of the log.
Because it also does like the tunnel effect, or like where it gets like really far away. Well done.
So then they get a generator from the hunters, so that way they can have power. There's a call from Vera, and she's asking if Indy is starting to act weird because she remembers that the grandpa's dog, whose name is Bandit, started acting strange once they started, once grandpa started moving along.
Yeah, the grandpa didn't die young. What the hell?
Yeah.
It's interesting because because he's relapsing, assuming that's what's happening.
that's what he's...
It seems like it takes place over a long period of time, but as the audience, it almost feels like a few days.
It's a
But
short
you can
movie.
tell it's a long
movies-
period of time too because the furnishings in the house start to
It feels like a
change.
vlog, like a...
I must say, because the movie's what, an hour and 15, hour and 20? It's a
Like
short
that,
movie.
It's a pretty short
It's one of
movie.
the shorter movies.
This is where we get a documentary about people and dogs, and then the TV turns to static.
Oh, yes. Because this is the one, too, where it talked about, it was man's best friend, and it protects them from the shadows of things that are unknown, and it won't leave them.
Yeah.
So again, another, it's on the nose pretty hard, but it's kind of cool that, they incorporated that. And, I think this was, I don't know, kind of however you can interpret the movie, kind of also to the point of, the idea that if Todd was, knowing that he was dying or relapsing, that, the dog is having to witness it and he's having to be a part of it, but Indy doesn't want to leave his side. You know what this actually made me really think of this movie the entire time.
Not
You've ever
Joe.
seen it? No, yes, I know. Me and my wife did look at each other every time something happened to Indy. We're just but this made me in parallel a lot, and I hate this episode so much. Similar to probably how much you hate this movie. If you've ever watched Futurama, the dog episode, you know what I'm talking about. That episode hits so hard. That is so bad. I won't ruin it for you. If you've ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But there's an episode, and one of my good friends put it a good way. He's like, if I ever see a Futurama episode and I don't recognize what's going on, I know I need to stop it because I know it's the one episode I cannot watch because it will hurt to watch, and it's a dog episode. I'm just like, oh. That's how I felt.
This feels like a creepy pasta. What is this dog episode?
You've never seen the Futurama dog
I don't
episode?
watch
I've
You
never
don't.
seen it.
I don't do it.
We're watching it tonight.
You will make it.
To
Is that
give you the
bad?
TLDR, I think what's the main character's name?
Fry.
Fry. Because he's from the past, right? But he got frozen, and now he's in the future. He finds is it the fossilized version of his dog or something like that, and they bring it to life or something.
And then Bender ends up killing. No, they tried to, but then Bender melts it or something. But that's not the sad part. The sad part is when they do the very end of the episode and show you what happened before he got fossilized.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's so. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to
I'm
yourself.
never
man.
watching that.
Don't do it. We'll have Josh call in right now, and he will probably hate us for the that episode.
So after the documentary ends about the people and dogs, there's creaks on the floor, and we can see basically this shadow come into the room and block the light off of Indy, right?
Yeah, and even it always sets up too, where darkens, right? It focuses on the corner and it just absorbs all the lights, and just darkness, and then figure.
And then we get some dream sequences in this movie.
Dude, they're pretty good.
And the dream sequences revolve around Bandit, which is the grandpa's dog. And so for this one, this is the first one we get, and Bandit is basically like staring at a cave, right? And that there's someone like running up to him, and there's like a jump scare, right? He's like, "Wah!"
That was a good one.
That one got me
This
really
isn't
good.
the bandana part? Is that
No,
later?
not yet.
That's later. And then when the jump scare happens, and we see it all through like the reflection of Bandit's eye.
Right, but part of it too was it wasn't just like he just appeared there. He like walked down the stairs. He heard the creak. He like walked down the stairs, like kind of similar to what Indy would do, and then goes into the basement. Which I think he made a point to Todd that like, hey man, you wouldn't want to come down here. It smells like awful. Yeah. So obviously he's like, that's not good. Something probably down there is gross. And he like walks down the stairs, and what you're saying, he sees a cave, and then it's like the hand. It's like always reaching. It's something like a black figure reaching and trying to grab him. And he like wakes up, jumps into the dog. He's like,
aren't there multiple times? And this might have been what it was when they first get to the house, but also like when Indy hears like whining coming from the basement, essentially like a dog whining almost.
Yeah,
because we see it like in the cellar outside too.
Yes, we do hear
he like focuses on.
I'm just realizing this, maybe I'm wrong. Are all the dream sequences, maybe it's just because it's a dream sequence, but isn't it in the color palette a dog sees? It's like brown,
I think
yellow.
so. Like it's off.
It's darker.
That's
it's a darker
cool.
palette.
I don't know if I'm pretty sure that was intentional, but I don't know if it's because that's what dogs see or if it was just.
Because he has a red bandana, and I don't think it actually showed red, right? It was just like grayish. I don't know what colors dogs can and can't see. I don't think they can see red, right?
I think you're right.
Because bluey, they said bluey is the color spectrum of the what dogs can see. So like blue, brown, gray.
Aww.
So then let's see. So then it's the next day, and we get some shots of petting Indy. Always good. So then it's the next day, and we get some shots of petting Indy. It's the whole like going in between the legs, butt scratches and stuff like that.
Also, I don't know. Again, it's one of those things that I just remember in my head. I don't know when it happens. But there's a point when it might have been when he's sniffing at the door. I'm pretty sure we see like scratches.
That's this part right here. Yeah, that Indy sniffing at the basement door.
Which now that I think about what that means, I'm kind of sad.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
RFP my boy Bandit.
So Indy sniffing at the door. When they walk away, we get a shot from the other side of the door. So if you were inside of the basement, you can see that there's claw marks that line the entire bottom of it.
Did we mention that the hunter had talked to him and mentioned when he talked about his grandpa, like, we never found that dog?
No.
Yeah, the hunter mentioned because he knew about his grandfather. Like, I guess it took him a long time. It took him a while, but they said they could never find.
Where was the grandpa?
The dog.
Did the grandpa die in the house?
Pretty sure.
Yes, he died in the house.
Okay.
Yes.
They didn't look for the dog very hard, apparently.
Well,
unless they were there for a long time, maybe that was the case.
I think they found him in that chair that we'll get into.
Because like how long after passing did they find him? I guess that's the question.
Yeah.
Would the dog have already been cooked?
Probably.
Yes.
Todd feeds Indy and then leaves, and then that part hurts so much. Indy's cries and barks and all these things, like it's the feeling of abandonment that these dogs get.
Which one is this? When
It's daylight and Indy is just crying. This is before Indy.
He locks her in a different room? Or
No, he just leaves.
He's just in the
hallway.
hallway.
Yes, he leaves.
Yes, and he's gone for a while because it goes to nighttime, and he even they talk about but he even like pans, and it's just him sitting at the window
the
during
same
the day.
spot.
The same spot. Like, no.
It's so sad, bro.
Just like y'all are saying, Todd is gone for a very long time, the entire day, and Indy does not leave the window, right? He stares outside the entire day. So then it's nighttime, and I think this is where we hear howling coming from the basement, and this is where Bandit leads Indy upstairs, and Indy's looking around for Bandit. He can't find him, and this is where he finds the bandana.
In the corner, right? It's under like the drawers.
Yeah,
like
the wardrobe, I think.
Yeah.
At the very back. And then there's a memory sequence that we see here, where basically, let's see, Did I not write it down?
He basically, I know he freaks out, and because the dog hears the noise and he hears it stomping, and I think he assumes that it's the thing he saw in the vision, the dream. So I think he books it. I'm gonna go.
Oh, you're right. He hears the stomping up the stairs.
Yeah, so he goes to hide under the bed, which I was like, no.
Oh, it's unsettling too because he like scoots back. Yeah,
he's like
all the way back. And then there's heavy breathing, and then that's
the stomp.
And it's very like anxiety inducing, right?
Because then we see the shadow. And
you see everything, and it's just like he can't defend himself until we realize it's Todd.
Yeah.
And then Todd lays into bed, and he has this bandage on his arm that's like still gushing out blood, pretty much.
Is this the? I think this is the part of the movie where I started crying, and I was just crying the rest of the movie. This is that part.
Where Indy wants to be all like.
Because Indy's trying to check on him because he has the bandage on.
I think what is it?
And he shoves him out of the way.
Either chemo or dialysis, right? One of the two.
I'm pretty sure it's chemo. But just like you're saying, Todd shoves.
Didn't he yell at him too?
Yeah, he's like, well, he tells him, he's like, please, he's like, yeah, not right now, because he doesn't have the energy. I mean, which is sad.
He doesn't say it like that though. He says it mean. And Jordan's. You were doing research or something, and didn't somebody say that was like the loudest audible reaction or whatever from the theater? Was when the dog got shoved.
Because it was sad. I mean,
that's why I started crying. And so, if we didn't say this in the episode yet, but this dog was not an actor dog. It was just the director's dog. Mm-hmm. So every time something would happen to him, I would look at Jordan and I'd be like, he doesn't know why he did that.
I think she felt bad. Yeah.
So I felt bad for the dad.
When they were filming, but even he had to.
Didn't know.
Yeah, and he was
but that's what I'm saying. Indy, his owner shoved him, and he doesn't know why, even though
he didn't know it's for filming him.
And it made me sad.
This is animal cruelty. No.
They call.
The whole profit for this movie better go to Indy.
So Todd shoves Indy out of the way and he tells him to get the fuck out of here.
And then Indy sleeps on the floor.
He does sleep on the floor. And then there's noises coming from the hallway. And Indy turns to see what it is, and then we get another dream sequence where it's like the foggy woods, and then they go to the graveyard, and then we see the shadow figure here. Mm-hmm. And then he wakes up to creaks and stomps, and then there's the blood trail out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he doesn't get dragged under the bed yet?
Not yet.
This movie does a very great job of leaning, okay, so I'm scared of the dark, so I feel this personally, of leaning into like the unknown of like just pure like blackness. Mm-hmm. Like it really feeds into, you're staring at something and you don't know if you're like, if there is a figure there or not. It's just really unsettling.
So Indy follows the blood trail. He looks down the stairs and he hears banging. So he goes down to the first floor to check it out, and it's Todd banging his head on the basement door.
It's like almost like not bleeding, but it is bleeding.
It's almost like plasma, but it's like clear.
Because he's like sleepwalking, right? Or is this all like a dream sequence?
I think it's real, but I don't think. What did you say?
Todd's definitely out of it. I don't know if he's sleepwalking or what, but
he might be.
Because once Indy interacts with him, he like.
If I'm being honest, I didn't think the bandage was from chemo radiation.
What did you think it was from?
I thought it was drugs.
Oh,
that's what I assumed it was, and that's why he was. I mean, he was gone all day, but also he was gone all day.
Yeah, but you don't put gauze on your thing, you know.
Well, if you're somebody who has weak veins, you probably will.
But I think it feeds on the idea of him like relapsing or whatever.
Yeah, there's the relapse. He was relapsing, and so we didn't know that.
No, it would make sense that that's what it was.
Honestly, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what the bandage was for. It just implied that he wasn't healthy.
Then he's banging his head on a door, so I didn't think it was medication.
Knocked him out. Yeah, knocked him out of it.
So Indy cries and whines, and then that's what gets Todd to stop. Then they wake up. Todd opens the basement door and then closes it, right? So like a real quick, which is weird.
Interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was crying.
And then it's the next day, and then we get shots of the house, and there's trash all over the place. Mm-hmm. And then Todd is watching the videotape that the grandpa left, that is basically his will. And you can definitely tell that Todd's not doing great. Mm-hmm. He's really going downhill. There's a call from Vera, and Todd isn't having it here. Like he's getting very angry with her. Let's see.
What's the idea of like he is like, I think he understands that he's dying, and so I think he hasn't like fully coped with that yet. So in his mind, it's anger that's lashing out because he just doesn't want to be bothered. I think some people had said that they took it as like him secluding himself was like similar to like a cat or even a dog sometimes, where when they know that they're dying, they don't want to be near their owners, so they go and separate themselves so they can die away from everybody.
I didn't want to say he had. I don't want to say he like had given up. I think he just became like helpless.
Yeah,
he knew that.
He knew he
Like,
was.
I think him going there was to just be by himself for the last
100%.
bit.
Yeah.
Indy hears barks coming from a different room in the house, so he goes to like see where it's coming from, and there's a door that opens on its own. And he goes to check it out. He finds Grandpa's chair, and there's the memory basically of him dying. And in the background, this is where we see like the shadow, or the, I guess like it's not a shadow figure here, it's more of a mud man.
Mud man, yes.
Like a mud man basically sit up behind Indy.
It's almost like a.
And it reaches out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It
I
gets
felt
him.
really bad for
Yeah.
Indy here too, because Indy pees.
Yeah.
And Indy does get like.
In real life, he was scared.
Special effects.
You know
Indy gets
that.
That
like
was
actual
special
Yeah.
effects. They added the CGI.
Yes, that's the next scene.
So this draws the line. This is another
Because
like
it like
draws the
touches
line.
him, and then we cut to Indy's missing.
Oh, this isn't when he gets the bat question mark.
It's
No,
we're
not yet.
leading
We're
to that
leading
part.
into that part.
Because then it draws the line between, is this all like Indy experiencing like death or whatever, or is it real? Because now we've almost broken a wall where doesn't
Yeah,
the mud
no,
figure
yeah.
get Indy dirty?
Well, yeah, because
paranormally,
after he sees the chair, doesn't like he has another dream sequence, right, where he's in the basement and it's the grandpa talking to him.
because the thing touches him,
No,
this is what gets him
I
dirty.
think he gets
Yeah.
touched, and then it's immediately Todd's wondering where.
yeah,
Indy's
it's
at.
an immediate cut to black, and then there's shots of the basement, and Todd is calling out for Indy, but he can't find
Right.
him.
And then he goes down in the basement, doesn't see anything, and then when he comes back up and closes or moves the door, he sees Indy behind the door. Indy was hiding behind the door, and he's like covered in like
He's
dirt
covered
and
in
mud.
mud.
So then it breaks the wall of like how in some movies something paranormal happened, but then it's like disappears. There's no. Do you? I don't.
Well,
So
so we learn later that the basement has those weird puddles of black water.
Oh, I
And
understand,
Indy was
okay.
ended up in the basement, so
So Indy
we don't
could have
know
got
what
dirty.
happened.
Right.
Just could have got dirty and just didn't realize it.
But this is where we get the bath time, where Todd.
I'm telling you, Amanda. Once he pushes the dog, Amanda was like nonstop. Like
I was sobbing. I woke up the next morning with puffy eyes. I was just crying. I was done. I was
Yeah.
crying.
I kind of laughed at this part. I can't lie.
Oh my god. We're in the restroom, and Todd is bathing Indy to get all the mud off, and Todd tells Indy, "You smell like death," which is like a reversal, right? Because that's what Indy's presumably smelling on Todd the entire movie. And like Todd has is it a coughing attack? And
Yeah, he's like, oh, and he goes out. Oh, I'm almost done. We're almost done. And then just like vomits blood on him, and we're just like,
vomits blood on the dog.
like I mean, it's like it's a decent amount. Just like, and he's just like,
Bro, you know when they're filming, he had like red food coloring. Okay, we'll get to the pros and cons. One of my nitpicks is in the very first scene of the movie, the blood looks so fake.
because it was gushing out like Freddy versus
It
Jason
looked like
style.
chamoy, bro.
It was chamoy.
It's too red. It
Put
shouldn't be.
that back in the cup for later.
A man with a pickle in the background.
And then we cut to the hospital. He's getting a scan. Todd is getting a scan, and they let Indy in the room and all that stuff with him. And Todd is basically asking about this experimental drug, but the doctor is telling him that he's too far along, that he can't be a patient. And then this is where we get Indy starting to squirm on his lap, and then Todd gets upset. I can't remember if Indy bites him or if he squirms out, but then Todd turns into the mud.
Oh no,
Shadow
no,
Man.
he turns into the Shadow Man first. Cause you're saying he's hugging him or whatever, and then he like sees the hand and it's mud, and he feels it, and he freaks out, and he bites.
This is another Indy. I don't know. This is I feel like it goes on for a long time. Like when I was watching it, I feel like just like in a couple other scenes when like Indy gets locked in a different room or whatever, and he's like barking or like whining, it invokes the same emotion of like Indy squirming, and you can almost, it adds on to the helplessness that you feel for Todd. Like, it's just really unsettling and, like, I don't know, it's almost overstimulating, I would say. Because Todd also, doesn't he throw a fit? Or not throw a fit, but like, he's really upset.
He gets upset with the doctor, which it's one of those double-edged swords that makes sense, right? Like, to him, it doesn't make sense that this is my last resort. If I'm all the way this far, why wouldn't you at least try to let me have a chance? Yeah. But to them, the people that are experimental, whatever, they can't risk putting that on their record of like, oh, it didn't work, but you had somebody that was presumably in late stages of that. So they probably would never get their drug passed if it didn't, if it brought down their thing. So it's like, it's one of those awful understanding things of like, that's why, and it sucks that that's the case. Like, you can't just be like, we could secretly put you on the plan or whatever, but that's just, I'm sure there's other logistical reasons too. But he's rightfully mad, right? He hasn't coped with the fact that he doesn't have, this is it, he doesn't have much time.
So then we go back home, and they're in the woods, and Todd is digging a hole. The neighbor Hunter comes up, and they're basically having a conversation where Todd asks him about certain plants, if they have certain plants or roots in the area. So in this scene, we're basically seeing Todd turning to alternative medicines, and it's just, again, reiterated here that there's a bunch of fox traps around.
He keeps on, that man, that's like his only line. Be careful, we got fox traps over here.
I'm saying, he was a little suspicious.
Sir, why do you have so many fox traps around
Was
here?
he real?
Did he also already give him the generator, or did that happen?
Yeah, that was the first thing he gave him. Which is wild. He even told him, do you want me to help you set up? He's like, no, I know what I'm doing. And I'm pretty sure he didn't, because that thing looked like it was catching fire the entire time.
Rain.
You put it in like a water puddle. That scene has another good shadow in the background until the light.
That is wild. Yeah, he did not know how to use that generator. That man's like, no, I'm good. You don't need to help me. And then it was catching fire almost immediately. Every use, it got worse. Pretty sure he just didn't put oil in it. The oil was all dried up.
So then we're back at the house, and Todd has a bunch of house plants now all over the place. There's a noise that I was gonna say bandit. There's a noise that Indy hears, and the lights start to dim, and then the flames sort of reveal the mud shadow man in this part too. Ooh.
Did we already passed the curtain part? We did, right?
Oh, with him behind the curtain.
When the curtain's getting closer.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I'm trying to remember. Are we at the part now where he puts him outside after he gets back from the hospital, right?
It's after Indy not runs away, but.
Yes. So I think it's coming up. No,
I think it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. I forgot that part.
Let's see.
Did we do the dragon of the bed already?
No, not yet. So the reveals the mud man, and then we see Todd starting to cry, and he's watching a movie. Indy sees the shadow man behind the curtain. Happened right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
This was filmed really good.
Yeah, and Todd says, this is where Todd even tells Indy, what are you looking at? And then
he turns the light on.
Yeah, and the sister even brings it up, right? Hey, have you noticed that, he's been looking at things that just don't seem there, and he just stares off, which is, kind of odd to just say it's a dog, if they're going to do that all the time,
I love that this movie doesn't do it doesn't go overboard with pop-ups or jump scares. A lot of it is this constant tease of towing the line.
It's atmospheric. It puts you in that weird, it's unsettling. You were talking
it's something that's about to happen, but then the light comes on, or you wake up, or
So after this whole "what are you looking at" thing, this is where Todd kicks Indy out of the bed. Basically, it's not a shove or anything, but I think he just places him down, not tonight or something like that. Indy hears some more noises, and then let's see, he sees something walk around. He's across the hall, I think, right? And he goes to check it out. He goes to the first floor, and the basement door is open, and there's a purple light coming from the basement. He sticks his head into the little doorway, and this is where we hear somebody whistling, and there's this body on the ground, right?
Oh yeah, or the. Yeah, and it's done that a couple times. He does that.
It does it a couple times, and I think he's even calling Indy by name, right? Trying to lure Indy into the basement.
It looked like Todd sitting on the floor.
I thought so too.
I think that was the point. Yeah.
And this is the point where then he freaks out. And he tries to run to go get help. Right. I think that's what it felt like.
We had a jump scare here.
Jump scare. Okay.
So this is the purple light.
Right? It runs up
Yeah,
the stairs.
it's the purple lights coming in and out, almost like electricity or whatever. And then this is exactly like Amanda's saying, where the body, like, on all fours gallops up the stairs.
It's
jump
good.
scare.
Because of how many times we've been teased.
Mhm.
Like, you kind of hit the point where you're not expecting it, genuinely.
And then this is where Indy wakes up from his sleep, and then this is where he gets dragged from under the bed.
Yeah, it all, like,
that
happens
makes me
in
cry
a...
too.
It's all in a...
Because that didn't look like the stuffed dog. I think that was him that they pulled underneath.
I think
And
so.
he yells. They did. They had a stuffed dog.
They did.
And he
So
yelps
sad.
in pain, right, as he pulls him up.
I think
The Sandman from Spider-Man 3.
I don't know if it's because it's all dark. I think we just... At first we assume it's, like, the shadow figure or whatever. Like,
Yeah, and then it turns out it's actually Todd on the ground.
He's going
like,
through it, man.
like holding Indy, and this is where Todd starts to hear footsteps and stuff like that, and Indy starts to growl, and there's the mud hand, and then Indy bites Todd.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we jumped the gun on that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
And that's why he runs, right?
Or he like gets up, but then there's you can see that the mud man. Or Todd gets up and then goes to like into the hallway, I think, and then that's where the mud man is on the wardrobe, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, because doesn't Todd
You
just,
see
like,
that
pass
in the
out?
corner. Yeah.
And then he's in the hallway or in that little walkway area, and then I
Yeah.
think Todd like starts to walk or run back towards Indy or something, and then the door slams.
Oh, yes, because then
Yeah.
Indy starts barking like crazy.
He starts barking, and he turns, and the master bedroom has a restroom, and this is where he sees the window. And he jumps out the window.
He does, like, all the way out of the
does.
fucking house.
That wasn't real though, right?
Oh, he jumped
That
into the
was
bushes. The
stuffed dog.
second story, you're just like,
Yeah.
Doom! And then nothing for like 10 seconds. I'm like,
The end.
I was like, oh my goodness.
It hit him so hard.
He did the
just
waste,
couldn't
the
think.
Grand Theft Auto waste was just.
Bro, Amanda just asked if it was real.
They threw the real dog out the window. And Kermit the Frog.
So then Indy takes off going to look for help from the neighbor, right? And he gets caught in one of the traps.
Yeah, the bear traps. And this is where he gets caught in the trap, and then we see the mud man one more time because he's trying to get away, and you see like the figure,
Mhm.
and it just and then he almost like blacks out too. Like the way they film it, it looks like he blacks out.
Which I don't know how I feel about the fact that so much time is missing in this part.
Like from the
And
house.
then, like, he blacks out and then he's back, like, already chained outside of the house.
Yes,
Like,
well,
did he really black out that entire time? Or
he might have he might have in his brain he might have
Okay.
stressed out because
I
he
guess that
couldn't
would
get
make
away.
sense.
And he
Because
didn't
it
understand.
also looked like it was caught his
choking
leash,
him,
so
yeah.
he was probably just pulling too hard.
Yeah,
I get. It's just the part of me that wanted to know what happened in between.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I
actually.
think the way I figured is he got caught later. I'm sure that morning or whatever the guy found him, and so
'Cause he was right outside the neighbor's house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
That,
pretty
that's what I was
close.
wondering, like, who found him, how.
I'm assuming the name.
So we
neighbor.
think that when he's outside in the dark, it's the next day, not the same night.
No, it's the same night when he gets caught. Oh, we're talking about when he did the next part.
Did he get, in my mind, what I'm trying to figure out is, does he get caught, get found, and then return home in the span of an hour?
I
Is
feel
it
like it's all
span
the
of-
same night.
That's
don't
how
think
I
it's the next
understood it.
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then Indy wakes up and he's chained up.
This made me sad. This made
Yeah,
me real
he's chained
sad.
up to a doghouse. He probably has like a 6-foot lead or something. And then Todd is basically giving him the command to stay, and he says like, "I told you to stay." And then he brings the generator up, puts it
right next to the dog, and the smoke is going right into his house. Like it's like a little doghouse. Like I mean, the stock movie dog houses.
like a red barn.
Yeah, red barn. And the generator's not but like 10 feet from Indy, and the smoke is going directly into that little doghouse. I'm like, this dog is gonna have so much like monoxide poisoning. It's funny, like it's
And
crazy.
he just tosses the food at him. Bro.
Yeah, he pours
Yeah.
the bowl for Indy and basically throws it at
And
him
it's
and walks
raining.
away.
It's raining.
It's raining. He's outside in the dark by himself, and he's like standing. I think he's sitting on top of the dog.
Yeah,
house,
Just
Yeah.
staring at the window, like
staring
up
at the
into the
window,
house.
where Todd is like coughing up a lung, but then it also
Shows the next shows another window.
yeah, or it's the same window.
It's the same window. It transitions into the
shadow
like the
man.
steel figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they slide out of the corner right.
Yeah,
slides
like-
down.
And then while everything is still, the motion light on the outside of the house turns on, and Indy starts to hear noises. Let's see. He sees the white eyes in the distance, and then a fox like comes out from a tree, right from behind a tree.
Yeah.
And this to me was like his animal instincts, like his survival instincts were taking over at this point. Because the fox disappears, and then the shadow man, wah!
Yeah, because I think something distracts him. Like he looks away and then re-looks, and the fox is gone.
Yeah, and then the Mudman's grabbing him from the doghouse.
Because have the lights
Or
come out?
yeah,
pulling
they're
the
still up.
Yeah.
They're yes, you're right.
Because the lights are on and off. Like the generators.
The generator, well, because it's literally on fire at that point. You did not know how to set it up. But yeah, he like the Mudman is basically dragging Indy. You can see the hand from the doghouse and
Yeah.
is pulling him in, which is so sad because you're like, he can't do anything, he can't run, he's trying, and it's like literally, I think, choking him too. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh, he's like doing. Yeah, he's like dead weighting, like
yeah,
trying not to move.
not get pulled.
Yeah. And so finally, Indy's like, you know what? I got this. And then he runs.
Crypto dives.
Yeah. He Crypto the super dog dives into the doghouse to
Flips.
come out the. Oh yeah, you're right. He flips over, basically breaking where the chain is attached to it, and he runs off into the dark.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you
And then he hears Todd, and then he comes back.
Then I'm pretty sure you see like the
He said, "Oh
Mudman.
shit, I forgot
I,
about
was
it."
confused. I thought he was just circling around to get a quicker run for it.
He approaches the house again. There's barking coming from inside of the cellar, and then the generator dies. The cellar doors open at this point, and Indy goes in and he sees the body of Bandit.
Body, you mean bones.
Yeah,
There was literal
deceased.
bones.
But you know what's funny? Bandit had his bandana
Bandana
on,
on.
but
I
it
think
was in the
that's-
house.
Well, he was imagining it in the house. No.
Unless he had.
I didn't think he was. He probably had two because I think the flashback that he saw was when he touched the bandana.
Is this accurate?
It kinda came
If
back.
the dog's body were to decompose, would the bandana still be in that condition?
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
a bandana, it's cloth. What do you mean?
Well,
like,
Clock
if his
would
body
also.
didn't- Wouldn't the fur be there too? Or
Well,
like,
What the?
I'm asking.
He's like, well, like
the bones are like clean, bro. Like,
he's like mummified. I thought like his skin was like leather on the.
Yeah, I
oh,
think
the,
he was
the
like,
skin was still there.
like he was
That's
on
what
the
I thought.
concrete.
I thought he was just like a
He was
skeleton,
fossilized.
He was fossil.
like a dinosaur, little thing. I thought that's what
Like the dog.
That's
from
somebody's
Futurama.
dog.
yeah.
Somebody's dog.
It was somebody's dog. The
No.
grandpa's dead too. He doesn't know.
So the cellar door open.
Yeah. So then
Creepily,
sees the dead dog, and then Todd is dying inside of the bedroom, right where he's like coughing up a lung or whatever, and then we basically get him waking up, and this is where we see his face for the first time.
Because then he's like,
This
who's
part-
there?
See his face
This
for the
part
first time.
gave me chills. Do the crying. But it gave me chills.
I don't remember what happened.
So he wakes up, right, and he's like, and Todd hears a noise, and he says, "Who's there?" And then the candles from that little
Yes.
walkway start to like go out one at a time, and then we see the Mudman.
Well, don't
Whoa!
we get the reveal
It's
here
almost
though?
like the face of the mother.
No, we get a reveal. Isn't this the reveal?
I know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure because
I
that's
think-
that's the only time he interacts. I'm pretty sure that's the only time he interacts with him is then, because that's the only
Wait.
way he can interact.
I think Indy's
the
back
reveal of
up there. I think Indy's back up there when the reveal happens.
You're talking about when Todd realizes he died?
No,
Yes.
he's not
No.
talking about Todd's reveal. We're talking
Oh,
about
I'm talking about Todd's
Mudman's
reveal. Oh, that too. But
Oh.
no,
But
we
if
were
it's
saying
in-
Because Todd's reveal happens later.
Okay.
He's talking about.
So so there's the Mudman, and then the last candle goes out, and the Mudman's gone. We hear footsteps coming to the room, and that's when we see it's Indy, and then Todd is like, "Oh, hey, bud, what's up?" And then turns
He's like,
around.
how'd you get in here?
Okay, he's like
Yeah.
playing with him, like
But it
excited.
kinda, they go over Indy's shoulder because Indy's sitting on the bed and he starts like kind of whimpering a little bit.
Well, I thought Indy does it through the lights thing.
Well, they do, yes, but then he jumps on the bed because he's like, "What's the matter?" And then it pans over
He's
Indy
like, "What are you
and
looking
Todd's
And
in the
then Todd's in
bed.
the bed. So Todd
sees
died.
himself. Yeah.
And people were saying they
Chills.
thought this was another, going back to what we talked about earlier, of like he knew he was dying, so he wanted to put Indy out so that he wouldn't have to see him die, which is still kind of sad. Why would you lock your dog outside? But maybe
Yeah.
so the neighbor would hear him or find him, which I thought, thinking about it now, more makes sense. But yeah, because I don't know if I knew I was dying, I don't know if I'd want to like have my dog there, you know.
But it's
Yeah.
important for their grieving process, the way it is for humans. They're gonna have to see you at some point.
Yeah, but he put him outside. If you left him inside, they may have never found Todd like the grandpa, right?
That's
they wouldn't
true,
have found him.
yeah.
I'm glad Indy gets the last interaction with Todd.
Well, the neighbor
Two,
knew the dog.
I will say,
Was there.
and I don't want to give away too much, but for a second when I was watching it, I thought it was like a presence moment.
Oh yeah.
When like, yeah, I had to think like, hold on, does this
That was-
imply that like Todd was the mudman the whole time?
You know, he
But-
said thought it was insidious. He was dream walking.
Oh, he came back to warn him what's going.
So then the mud man basically like takes Todd into the basement, right?
Because we see the black footprints, like it has
Yeah.
the footprints, and he like does it. And
Drags Todd down the stairs or whatever. And then Indy jumps out the window again.
Oh,
no, jumps out his first story window. This is the
Yeah.
one of my only.
This is one of
Oh,
my
this is my
only
only-
cons.
the bad
I
CGI.
have a con with
The bad
this.
CGI.
They shouldn't have done the glass CGI. They should have just left it with no CGI.
They should have just had it
Well, he
maybe
wasn't-
off camera, had the glass shatter, and hear it, and then him come around, like to emphasize that he
Because
did.
it's like a weird like slow mo.
It's 2000 CGI where they just make it go really fast.
I think it's
and-
odd because it's the only part of the movie that looks like that, like that has.
Oh,
that.
because like that's the only time
Not
other
the
than
little
throwing him out the
shadow man
window. that-
setting like the freaking sun in the window like this. Just fades away. You can tell it was like on camera and they had it layered and they just dragged it.
They should have had him jump through a real
No,
glass
it was
window.
they had this little cutout and they just moved it.
Indy jumps out the first story window, goes back into the cellar. He runs into the cave where he sees.
And the thing's closed, right? When he jumps in the second time, the door's closed.
Yeah, the
behind
door's
him.
closed behind
And
him.
I thought there, I was like, that's it. We're not gonna see Indy again. I was like, no.
He's gonna go scratch at the basement door.
Yeah, just like Bandit. He turns into the cave and then he sees basically Todd's spirit, right? And then
He gets out, like Todd, like he hears Todd in the cave, and Todd like runs out, and he's clean. He's like normal, but he's like panting and stuff, right? And
then he tells Indy, he says, "You're a good dog, but you can't save me. You have to stay here." And then we get like the kind of cheesy effects where where he turns
It's like
into
he
Venom.
basically
Right.
turns into
Yeah.
the mud man.
he turns into the mud man. Yeah.
Oh no! I remember what it was.
Well, the mud man
No, I
walks
remember
from
he
the
gets
other
he,
side.
he knows he's in the cave. He goes in. He pulls him out. Like he helps pull him
he
out.
does.
And
He's
he helps
trying
pulls
to
him out,
get him.
trying to get him. But then I think that's when Todd realized he has to accept. That's why he says like, yeah, no, you're gonna have to stay here. I know this is like the one time you can't help me. And he's like, you've always been there. Thank you and all that. Yeah.
Because when they see the
sad.
madman coming through the door, right? Towards him, towards Todd
Indy.
and Indy.
Yeah. And then Indy waits in the basement.
Yeah, he like mudmans and then doesn't. I can't remember. Does he go in the puddle or he like just fades into the abyss?
And he
I
just
can't
goes
remember.
into the darkness.
Yeah.
Like,
But Indy like sits right there.
Yeah,
in front
Cindy
of
sits.
him.
waits for him.
Which means that's my assumption was that's the same thing that happened to Bandit. 'Cause I think that's the same thing, right? There's I think the grandfather at one point even said, "You need to stay here with me," and it was like, oh no, foreshadowing.
Yeah. And then it's the next day. And Vera
we
comes to the
presume-
house.
we presume it's the next day.
it's the next day, which is really up for interpretation because
Well, no, actually, I was gonna say this. Before that, you don't even know. Like it ends with Indy sitting right there,
Right.
and it fades to black, and it sits there for about another 15 seconds. Like it is silent,
draws it out.
and I'm like, that is not how they ended this movie. I was like, they cannot end the movie like that. I was about to be so upset because I was like, no.
That would have been a tough ending.
That would have been, that would have been
ending.
worse than The Mist. I think that honestly that would have hit harder than The Mist.
Hey, we haven't seen it yet. Don't ruin it.
They already spoiled it like 3 times.
I forgot. We haven't seen it.
No, we haven't. We haven't. Not yet.
We saw
haven't seen it yet.
Link though.
we did so. It's sweet. Never mind.
What was it called?
I always want to call it Skid Mark.
So then we assume it's the next day, and Vera shows up to the house and she's calling for Indy, and she ends up opening the cellar door. And it's up for interpretation whether she's actually there or not because you have something to say?
It's not.
You finished your.
Okay.
It has to do with what we read.
Okay.
Oh.
Where the cellar door is open and she's there, we don't see her face, and everything is super bright, almost as if he's going towards the light.
We get a whistle,
We do.
and
Yeah.
he turns,
Yeah.
and then they call him. Vera calls him again, and then he walks.
There's
up.
a very long hesitation before
Look,
you
I have
watch.
to choose
Which made
again.
me like think that it was one of those where it was like I don't know if the dark spirit or the Inti or whatever was trying, or like his idea of like my owner told me to stay here. I need to stay here. I think that's how I kind of thought of it once it all digested. Because you heard it a couple of times, right, in the movie.
Yeah.
So maybe that was that, and then him having to fight that urge. I think maybe that was his acceptance of like, okay, yeah, Todd's not coming back. I need to go.
Yeah, in the interview the director gave, he talks about like the ending being a commentary on like moving on after grief.
Right.
Like the dog, Indy hesitates and can either stay there and dwell on the fact that like his owner's gone and stay there by its side, or move on to the sister. Like, you know, keep pushing forward with life.
Right.
I'd
So
like
I
to
think
think
that's
that
important.
Indy did not die.
I think he confirms he didn't because of the car ride scene.
No, so
Which the director said is
yes, during the
that's
during the
part
credits.
of the movie.
but I thought that was Todd's car. It could have been Todd's car and then him on the way there before it rained.
I read it as post.
Well, no. So here's the thing.
I thought it was the start of the behind
So-
the scenes.
so
I thought it was
here's-
just him in the car.
Here was where, and we talked about this right before we recorded. We both had to look it up because, like you were saying, that was my thought too. Was like, it almost felt like it was up to interpretation. It was exactly what you were saying. The bright light, you couldn't see her face.
Yeah.
It was just an outline. It felt very distant. It felt very like, come to heaven, we're accepting you, or stay in purgatory. Like
He was also right next to Bandit.
right next to Bandit. So like, and she even like the first comment she made was like, "Oh my God, no," and like it made it seem like she found Indy dead.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when I told Ida, I was like, I think that's why at first I thought that was the case, and why I interpreted it that way was because that first initial what she said was like, oh my gosh, no, but I think it was her seeing the other dog's bones.
I think so.
And then Indy reappeared, luckily, because it was pitch black too, right? Because you look down, and then Indy just kind of like.
That's so interesting because when she said, "Oh my gosh," whatever, I thought I read it as, "Oh my gosh, you're alive! Like the dog is alive. Thank God the dog is alive." That's what I understood.
I thought it was a
I didn't
sad,
think
"Oh
it
my
was up for
gosh."
interpretation. I thought because she had already planned to be there that weekend.
I
So
do
thought
take it
she
as
was
like
just getting him out.
a face value. One, because of what the director said, but like
What did the
a
director
full
say?
circle. What I said, how it's like it reflects a decision between
Oh.
moving on or drowning in grief. But also, I think it also is kind of like a redemption arc for the fact that like Bandit got stuck down there.
Well, the director and what I read, I thought maybe you think you read something different.
I think so.
The director did come out and say the dog did live, because that was everybody's question, especially after the ending. And he said he thought that it didn't make sense for him to go through all of that just to end that way. Like the dog needed to survive for his like story to actually like turn over a new page and like move on from that experience.
Yeah, the movie's really like essentially Indy going through grief or
Yes.
like handling the fact that his owner's passing away.
And the car ride, same thing. You were like, well, the car ride made sense. I was like, I don't remember actually seeing Todd's vehicle, and maybe in the whole movie I just don't remember. I thought that was Todd's vehicle, so I was like, and they never showed the driver. They never
His
once.
truck was red. We see the.
I took it as the sister.
Okay.
House.
Maybe it was. I don't remember.
I
the
thought
team.
it was a hatchback.
Whatever it was, I don't think it was the same.
Okay, so because it was like a grayish, like suburban, not suburban, like a smaller, compact SUV. So maybe that, but I can remember. I don't remember car makes in the movie. That's the last thing I'm thinking of. But in my head, that's what I thought, because they never showed the sister. She never said anything in the car ride. She like nothing. It was just Indy looking out the window. That was it.
Yeah.
And I took that as potentially like him going to. He could have gone to heaven, but no, it did. He was alive.
I think the fact that we can have this conversation is good in
Speaks to that.
The ending gave you just enough, like the way the movie did. It still leaves it up for
Interpretation.
It's well done.
So
I just liked that it was from the dog's perspective. I thought that was really cool.
And they did it well. Like again, it's not the killer's perspective. Let's film him walking for 45 minutes. Like
Either Violent Nature was an 8 out of 10.
It was not.
That is a good movie.
If they would have filmed it the same way, half the time would have been him sniffing, the other half would have been him peeing or pooping or wanting treats. Like that would have been, if the same directors did it, that's what we would have got.
But the dog's not the antagonist. The way.
So we watched the antagonist walk.
It's like if it was a ghost perspective. Like.
Yeah.
What is it? They went. The ghost is just sitting there like. Oh, it's about time to hunt. Let me go
You
there.
haven't seen Presents?
That's not what
Let me move,
you
let me
know,
move the
it's
ship.
I think this is a movie that every dog owner should watch. Because I think,
No, the
no,
opposite.
I think so.
I
Because
think
I think
so.
it helps you understand a dog's perspective. I think they represented that really
I
accurately.
can't look at Wanda the same.
Also, because
I feel bad.
this is such a random thing, but the fact that like when he found Bandit's bandana, it was a flashback for him. It's because dogs' noses are actually that strong. That's
Right,
why
they
scent lead
smell.
trails are important, because sense, that is their social media. They can smell the spot and they know exactly what happened there that day. So him smelling the bandana, it was like, oh shit,
does a
like
very
all this
good-
happened with this bandana. So I don't know, I just think it's really cool.
I
I think
agree.
it was a cool perspective to show you, like you're saying, a dog going through grief or his owner passing
It
away.
executes the dog POV very well. Like
Yeah.
just in terms of
And I think
getting across emotions, like vulnerability.
And I think
stuff.
like a good way to attest to that is the fact that we were as emotionally
I think we're
driven
all
by
emotionally,
it
yeah.
because it makes sense. They did it so well.
We're also dog owners.
Yeah.
I think too, I really enjoyed that everything in the movie, like, and why I gave it a 9 out of 10 was just so well thought out and done in a way that, like, again, some things were on the nose, but it was also done in a way that was creative. It was entertaining. That I didn't think it was a slow burn. I thought it honestly like kept you interested because there was always something happening. There wasn't too much dead time. The only times there were to build the tension, right? Like the exploring parts of the dog trying to like hear a noise, let me go check it out, and just everything that they put into the movie I thought was good. The lighting, the sound was really good. I loved the and I
sound
wish-
was
yeah,
so good.
I really think Justin would have appreciated it. Maybe not as much as like, you know, soundtrack in terms of like music,
But
but,
the
like
sound was
the
so
sound was
good.
good. They
It was
would
good.
always have the bass clarinet, like the low breed, and it was the same note to help kind of build the tension right when something was happening, and it was
And like
dark
the
or
falling
eerie.
noises and stuff.
Yeah.
It was so well done.
Yeah, I thought the sound was really good. I don't think we've mentioned that at all the entire
No.
movie, but it was really well done. The layering of the, you know, the people or the spirit doing the stomping on the stairs or the creaks and things, like it was done in a way that just layered really, really well. So it created an atmosphere that was enjoyable. It settled like in a way that was unsettling, and I think if you're gonna watch that movie, you need to do it with good sound, because I think that also helps play into the movie.
Especially because there's like little to no dialogue, right?
Yeah.
It's just
The
visual
dog,
and auditory. And so they had to make sure the way the Terrifier is, right? They have to get everything across with visual, because there's dialogue between the
I know what
extra
you mean.
characters and with Arthur Clown himself. So like with this movie, they had to make sure that they can get across that emotional
The
effect
sound design is
without any dialogue in it.
Yeah, I wanted somebody to me to look up how much of dialogue was there in the movie time-wise versus just music and the dog.
I wonder. There's very few. There's
Yeah,
like
not-
4 or 5
Probably like
conversations
1/4
total.
of the movie had dialogue, if that.
Not even,
That was
yeah.
that's a lot.
Because it was like,
But-
mostly just sounds and him experiencing.
I really appreciated the behind the scenes in the credits. That made me feel better about crying.
So,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so I guess the big question that we kind of all were debating a while back, do you think it was for reals, like there was a presence, or do you think that it was his experience of death near the owner, near Todd, and that was his way of internalizing it? That's how he saw it.
I think
I
I'm
think
gonna go
that
with that
one.
one.
I feel like this was Indy seeing the cancer take over his owner.
Because like
I think that's
the
what it
grandpa was older and bandit or whatever. Like I assume it's a similar situation where, yeah.
He maybe had like
Because
I don't think the
so-
house is killing the people.
But it's
I
also
think.
because
people-
like in the beginning of the movie, right when he just comes out of the hospital, the shadow figure is always at a distance. But it gets closer and reveals itself more as the cancer gets stronger.
That's what I'm saying. And Todd doesn't see it till towards the end when like
when it's already
the
too
death
late.
is already at the
Death
door
already occurred.
essentially. Yeah. Like
What did you think it's?
I
for real,
agree
for
with you.
reals? Okay,
Yeah, I don't think it's a.
for real.
For real.
I
I think there has to be something there to open the cellar door to get him into the basement, but I don't think that
It's Bandit.
yeah, I
It's bad.
maybe, but like
It's helping
I don't
him.
I don't think that is whatever's doing that. I don't think that's what we're seeing.
Mm.
If that makes any sense.
It's like a separate thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
like how I guess when people pass and stuff like that, right? Like, I wish Jeff was here. He'd have something to say. I feel like
Yeah.
so just ask him, like, when people pass, that like activity starts to happen in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
So like if all of his family went there to die and they were all really young, like ideally there'd be some sort of activity going on, but I don't think that the shadow figure that Indy's seeing throughout the entire movie are those family members or whatever. I think that's the cancer that's taking over time.
I feel like there can be several ways to explain it because it's a generational home, right? Like all those people died there probably.
Because they do focus on like the grave.
Well, somebody
They
has
kinda
to break.
nuance it.
Somebody has to break the generational curse, right? So maybe it was the past family members trying to make sure this was the dog
Right.
that got out, or like the story that was different.
Yeah.
I agree with everything Adam said. I think this is definitely, it gave me everything I wanted from the sense of, I love when you can tell that the person who made the film has a love for film or a love for art.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering I couldn't even find a number for the budget on this movie because they probably didn't keep track of the budget for the movie.
I don't think there was very much.
They filmed it over like 3 years.
And it was at their house,
But-
and it was just them and like one other person.
If this is what like love for the art and like real dedication can get you at, there's just no excuse to have shitty ass movies out there. It's just really, it's so well executed. Agreed.
I like that movie.
So do I, but it's a money grab. Let's be real. Yeah, it's just it's a great movie. It's the same reason I love Nosferatu. Sorry, Ramiro. You can just tell the person has love for the art.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, quick note, just because I'm the numbers guy, this is also the third highest grossing IFC film, right behind Late Night with the Devil and In a Violent Nature. Who would have thought?
I think it's a good movie. I think everyone needs to watch it.
I agree, just like In a Violent
So,
Nature and Late Night.
so if those are three, we all know that Violent Nature is 3. But does this go over Late Night with the Devil?
Absolutely
Yes.
not. Oh!
Okay, end the episode.
Yeah.
You think?
I think
you
so.
think it goes up?
So like the reason why I gave it, so the reason why subjectively I gave it a 10 out of 10 is because after watching this movie, I was like, fuck, now I have to treat my dogs better. Like I can't.
Yeah.
It's the whole promotion.
One of them is definitely more emotionally like
Podcast was made
relevant.
by PETA, right?
Late Night with the Devil was really good.
Until
though.
the
Late Night with the Devil
second
is really
story
good,
window.
but I did really like this one.
Did Adam
Like,
give an answer? I don't know
Of
if I
what?
have an answer.
For what? Oh, dude.
Late Night with the Devil or Good Boy?
Oh man, the only reason I would say this one is because
Damn.
the girl turned into Omnath at the end. She
They
was
don't
like
play Magic the Gathering,
Locust
they don't
of
know.
Rage. It's the third land droppage.
I think they're both must watch.
Get
for
the
different
Omnath
reasons.
picture. Where's the Omnath picture? Hold on, I'll pull it up right now.
Oh my god.
I keep on going.
That's why I rated it so high. It's because this movie made me reflect on how I treat my own animals and be like, fuck, I have to treat them better. Not that I was abusive to them before.
Tell me that wasn't
I
the
wasn't.
girl at the end. Tell me that wasn't the girl at the end of the movie.
I'm saying that with the devil. Okay, but that was Good Boy. We all really enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We really appreciate it. The next movie pick, I believe, is Amanda's. So, Amanda, what are we watching next?
And if it's not Black Phone 2, I don't want to hear it. We're doing Megan 2.
So the next pick is going to be Amanda's. Amanda, what are we watching?
We're gonna do VHS Halloween.
Ooh, spooky.
Right before Halloween.
VHS Halloween, right before Halloween.
And if it's bad, we're all coming on and booing Adam.
Whoa.
Like Puppet Master all over.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But yeah, so go ahead and look forward to that. And until then, I hope you all have a nice day. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad dog, just bad owners.
Spay and neuter your pets.